Hey, Leland, yeah, the former governor of Massachusetts and, of course, the 2012 presidential nominee gave the keynote address last night at that dinner in Utah, making it official, of course, earlier in the day when he released a video with the official announcement that he'll be running for the seat that's being vacated by longtime Senator Orrin Hatch. Of course, now he'll be the junior senator if he does win. His announcement was pushed until Friday in response to the shooting in Parkland, Florida, and he somberly touched on that topic at the top of his remarks. Romney's run comes as he's weathered some criticism and some questions about returning to Utah. He cites all of his grandchildren living there, his family still residing in the state, and, of course, all of his time in the Olympics spent in Utah. He also addressed his hot and cold relationship with President Donald Trump in the last 2 years. And if he was to win as a junior senator from Utah, where does he stand with the current president? Saying that they can find some common ground on topics like taxes, regulation, and smaller government.
Now, I'm not always with the president on what he might say or do, and if that happens, I'll call him like I see him, the way I have in the past. But we can certainly work together, and our agenda will be for the best interest of the people of Utah and the people of our country.
Romney also made a joke about being called the junior senator. He says being called junior at his age in anything is actually a compliment. He also says that he believes the pundits are wrong about the midterms. He believes that because people's paychecks are bigger, that the economy is growing, and there's also an increased wage for many of the workers in the country. He thinks the Republicans will hold on to the Senate and to the House. Of course, only time will tell on that one, Leland. But very interesting to see him there in Utah last night. Of course, there has been some criticism. The Utah Republican chairman criticized him a little bit earlier this year, kind of comparing him to Hillary Clinton when she moved to New York to run for Senate. But he is obviously a favored son there, and so it will be interesting to see how this race all plays out.
Yeah, he is indeed, especially from his time with the Olympics there. Real quickly, Adam, you mentioned the Republican Party chairman criticizing him. Any other Republicans either put their hat in already or willing to have a challenge from the right for him?
You know, that's a question that I think is going to be seen. There are some other names that are being possibly thrown around, but he is obviously a very difficult candidate for anyone to run against. The Democrats already tweeted out, his rival tweeted out something about him moving into the state to run. So he may get it from both sides a little bit, Leland, but you got to admit he's a likable guy. The Olympics are on right now, and that does remind people about what he did in 2002. He saved the Olympics, basically, for Utah, turned that around to be one of the most successful in Olympic history. So those are obviously some topics that are going to be coming to play as well.
Yeah, and that really exploded Utah's economic growth as well, the 2002 Olympics. Adam, great reporting from Los Angeles. We'll watch the race. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Good to see you on a weekend.